Hey everyone, it is day 3 of the suspension swap on my Chevy Coupe. Today I plan to weld on some leaf spring hangers at the front of the springs. But first, I spent most of yesterday removing a seized shackle pin. It's a threaded thing from this point here, hoping that I could put the new threaded shackle pin back in. It's not going. So as you can see, after all that work, I'm having to press out the original shackle pin bushing. Don't hate me. So I should have done this from the start, but you know what it's like. You get an idea in your head to do something and you've got to follow through, regardless of how stupid it is. So I've already started pressing this out with a breaker bar. It is going in, so I'm going to try using the impact gun. Get that out, get the new one in, go on to the next thing. Enough time spent on this. So I even managed to use the new one to push the old one out. Don't see it. Right, now this pin should slide into its new home. As I mentioned before, if you haven't already watched, these shackle pins rotate on those threads, and there's a hole there to squirt in grease. There's a grease nipple that goes over the top. I think I'll want it on the inside for access for servicing. Yeah, that's much easier than fighting with the old one, eh? Lovely. Okay, now we can get on with some actual work. Leaf spring front mounts. So I should really drag out a spring to let you see how this works. The back will mount with a shackle to there, then it goes away under there and mounts exactly where I've got my axle stand. Isn't that handy? Not at all. So I need to remove that, and you'll also notice that my exhaust is going to be in the way, so that has to come off. And while I'm at it, might as well take my running board off, take the fender off, give me a bit more access. So I'll get on with removing all that metal and back in a minute. I got delivery. A nice brand new pair of welding gloves, but I don't know who it's from. There's no message. So, whoever sent me a pair of brand new welding gloves, thank you very much. I've got a feeling it might be Glenn over in Saskatchewan, because they look remarkably similar to these ones that you sent me last year. So maybe it's a refresher. Or maybe it's from someone completely different. Please let me know so I can thank you personally. Okay, I've dismantled some stuff. Let me show you. So fender's off, running board's off. I couldn't quite get the exhaust off because even though I've taken off loosened off the U-clamps, that one and that one there, it's still spinning at the the headers, so I'm going to have to take the whole system off to get it off properly. To be fair, I'm going to have to redesign them. This is going to have to go over the axle between the tank and the wheel in there and out the back. So that's another huge job, but hey, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's work in suspension. So this is the section I'm going to have to make a mount. But let's grab a spring, put the rear shackle on, and see where it's supposed to line up at the front. So you'll finally get to see how these rear shackles work. So this is your pivot pin. These rubber things go on here, on either side. Oh. Presumably that will keep the grease on the inside while still allowing it to pivot. Then you've got a big shackle at either side, which are tapered. Because that's tapered, these have to be tapered. That one goes in there. That one goes there. Bolt through the middle. Now I'm not going to tighten this up until I've got the lower part attached to the leaf. So, the leaf, again, rubber thing, one on each side, so you can see that that pin will rotate just a little bit. That's all it needs to rotate. Okay, let's see if it fits. I wonder if I'm going to have to do this without the bolt in, just to make it really awkward. It does kind of feel it's being held in by magic. I'm sure these are supposed to be torqued, so I will not overdo it and I'll look up the torque setting. Because you want these to squash in and grip onto the pins, but still allow it to move, presumably. Let's see if it moves. Yep. Okay, so let's go to the front and see where it lines up at the front mount. Or at least where the front mount should be. Okay. So yeah, I actually cut off these bits. There was two hanging down bits there and I cut them off. So that looks about right. Okay, now you're going to see what we're going to make these with. It would be just super if I could find the original bits I cut off so that I can at least, you know, have some sort of template. So they could be in there, or down there, or, oh my goodness, in here, up there, and there. This is a nightmare. Okay, let me have a wee look. I'm not going to spend all day trying to find them, but it would be helpful. Failed. Right, let me show you plan F subsection D. So all I really have to do is make a sort of U-shaped hanger and then weld it to this panel, And I could try and, God, sorry, I could try and grind down these rivets, but it's not really going to help because they're riveted at the top as well. That's probably why I never cut these off, because they were such a pain. So I think possibly just make a plate with a U-shaped hangy thing. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have a look, see what sizes I've got. I'm not finding anything in there. The garage is a disgrace, and it's starting to rain again. So I'm gonna pack Bugsy up, put the cover back on, spend the rest of the day tidying the garage. Hopefully I'll be able to find what I need and get back to work. So just a quick one today then. Accomplished nothing except got that bushing in, which I should have done two weeks ago. Anyway, it's done now. Right, folks, sorry for the garbage video. I'll see you tomorrow with something a bit more productive. Take care, bye.